Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group. We are going to present an introduction of Chapter 5, which is site selection for our chemical plant, which is malic anhydride from N-butane. So before we start, let me introduce our team members. Firstly is Nur SYAFIQAH binti AHMAD. Second is Siti Farzana binti KHAIRUZZAMAN. Third, AINUL HUSNA binti Muhammad NIZAM. And lastly, me myself, NURUL IZZAH binti AHMAD SHAKRI. So let's proceed.
Okay, first we move to the introduction. Our company, which is Success Organic Company, has decided to develop our factory in an industrial area in Teluk Kalong, Terengganu. The CEO of our company, our general manager, project engineer and also process engineer has decided to develop a factory there because of the land area that fits our landscape plan and the land price is cheaper than in big cities like Johor Bahru. Since the plant we will developing is an acid producing plant, we also emphasize the environmental factors in site selection. In selecting a factory site, we take seriously the level of tolerance for the various permit effluents and attention should be paid to the potential requirements for additional waste treatment of the facility. Since all industrial process produce waste products, we consider waste products that may be produced by our plants such as toxic gas and fumes such as carbon dioxide. Excessive exposure to carbon dioxide can have various effects on human health, such as difficulty breathing, asphyxia, high blood pressure, seizures, increased heart rate, and can even lead to coma and subsequent death. Therefore, we choose an area far from residential areas and schools to set up our factory in the industrial area in Teluk Kalong, Terengganu. Next.
So as you guys can see on the slide, this is the plant location. This is the image of satellite. As you guys can see, the red line is the whole area in kawasan perindustrian Teluk Kalong, and we have decided to build our company, which is the yellow line, and our company name is Success Organic Company. The address for this industrial area, which is kawasan perindustrian Teluk Kalong 24000 Kemaman, Terengganu. And the reason why we choose this site because they're located 9.6 km from Kemaman and the total available area is 167.46 hectares. It is also near 5.38 km to the training center, and it also have the port facilities, which is the Kemaman port. Now we're talking about the factors. We have 4 factors here, which is raw materials availability, market accessibility, labor supply, and also energy availability.
The first important factors that we to choose our site selection is raw material availability in the area. So we have found a lot of suppliers that supplies raw materials for our production. So we have decided to choose both suppliers nearby to each other. Then we can choose our site located nearby there too. And then the suppliers that we have choose for butane is Petronas Gas Berhad, and for the oxygen is All Gases Sendirian Berhad. So this is next. This is the distance for both suppliers, which is from Petronas Gas Berhad to our company is 3.2 km, while All Gases Sendirian Berhad to our company is 1.67 km. Next. This is the freight or transportation expenses. Both suppliers use transportation tariff and shippers capacity reservation to decide the gas transportation fee. And here is the one example how they calculate the transportation fee for the raw material. So the gas transportation tariff is 1.24 ringgit per gigajoule. So where is gigajoule is 1 gigajoule is 25.5 meter cube, and then after a calculation we get around 782 ringgit 40 cent. Next.
Next.
Okay, next we move to the market accessibility. According to the International Trade Center, market accessibility means the ability of a large company to sell goods whose service extend across border. Market access here refers to the marketing of domestic trade as well as international trade. Contrary to the concept of free trade, cross-border market access without having to pay additional costs imposed by the government of a country that receives its product. The factory site should be selected and put in the ideal location where the cost for production and distribution of the product is at a minimum cost. The factory site should also be in a position that can provide good space for future plant expansion in various spaces as well as have a conducive environment so that factory operation can be easily carried out. Therefore, our company choose to set up our factory site in an industrial area in Teluk Kalong, Terengganu rather than in the city of Johor Bahru. Next.
Aliyah.
If a factory produces high volume cost product such as fertilizer and cement, it should be closer to the main market because transportation costs are a big part of its selling price. However, our factory which produce maleic anhydride, which is a low volume product and a high value, is different from the factory that produce fertilizer and cement products. So, the benefits to approach the main market are not necessary to our company. Maleic anhydride is a highly reactive and potential chemical intermediary in almost all chemical industries. These derivatives have various applications from the polymer industry to the pharmaceutical industry, the manufacture of adhesive, paint copolymers and films, the cosmetic industry, and even the healthcare industry. The global market for these two products is expected to increase as the production of polymers and other derivatives increase. Therefore, maleic anhydride will usually be imported abroad to go through the process to produce the final product like this. Next.
So this is a labour supply. The meaning of the labour supply is the number of hours people that are willing and able to supply at a given wage rate. Are also the number of workers willing and able to work in a particular job or industry for a given wage. The factors that determine an individual supply of labour and the market supply of labour, which is higher wages, usually will encourage a worker to supply more labour because work is more attractive compared to leisure. Therefore, the supply curve for labour tends to be upwardly sloping. However, a worker is not just interested in earning money, they are also interested in leisure. Therefore, there is a choice between working more, which is higher wage, and working less, more leisure. This is the factor that influence a supply of labor. They have two supply of labor, which is the worker and also the market. For the marker supply of labor, it is substitution effect of a rise in wages and also income effect of a rise in wage. Next is the market supply of labor, which is the number of qualified people, difficulty of getting qualification, the non-wage benefit of a job, and also the wage and condition of other jobs. Next, AINUL.
Okay. Next, we are going to look at the energy availability. Okay, next. Next is the things about energy availability that you need to know. Firstly is what is energy availability? It is a classification of stocks relating to manufacture or supply of energy. Why it is needed in the industry? This is because in industrial side, it need energy supply and depend on the source of energy availability. The lack of energy availability source could take a toll on the production of a product. There are some types of energy availability, which is companies engaged in the discovery and production of oil or gas reservoirs. Oil and gas drilling and refining are part of energy section and industry. Integrated power utility providers such as renewable energy and coal are also included in the energy availability. Okay, next. There are 3 suitable energy plants to choose at the Teluk Kalong, which is first the Rangkon Power Engineering and Service Sdn Bhd. Second is Power Engineering and Supplier Service, and lastly we have Esteem Energy Engineering Sdn Bhd. Next. So the best out of 3 is the Rangkon Power Engineering Sdn Bhd. because it reduces and eliminates the expenses, and it also can supply limitless amount of energy of maleic anhydride production. Next is the supplier is near the production area, which is it also in the area of Teluk Kalong Terengganu. And lastly, RPS is a large scale of solar photovoltaic plant, and it also have a wide range of scope of work. Next.
So after we have decided all the factors, we can plan our site. So this is our site layout of the plan for maleic anhydride production. From here, we can see that there is two main entrance. For the first main entrance is for the workers, and second main entrance for the supplier to drop down our raw materials. And then other thing that have in our plan is guardhouse, car park, lab, workshop, catalyst, warehouse, canteen, administration, assembly point, power supply, control room, storage stands, and centralized unit, area for expansion. This is where maleic anhydride production, and plant utilities, oil flash unit, 2 MTBE unit, 2 Butama unit, and wastewater treatment plant. Next. So this is the example of plan layout of maleic anhydride production plant. From the upper one, it is tray dryer, and then and continue with ultrafilter, crystallizer, condenser, distillation column, kettle, reboiler, boiler heater, absorption tower, cooler, heat integrator, packet bed reactor, heater, cooler, boiler, and two pump, which is recycle pump 1 and recycle pump 2. Next. And then we have decided to take optimistic organic sendirian berhad for our size example. So the area of optimistic organic sendirian berhad is 15,459 meters square, while for our success organic company size plan is 15,411 meters square. We made it smaller because we follow it according to our site layout plan. Thank you.
Okay, the conclusion from this site selection is, to sum up everything, site selection is a significant step to build a plantation for production of maleic anhydride. This is because it will determine the future of maleic anhydride production in the industry. In addition, it's a caution step as it can prevent a major loss for this project. Site selection also need a lot of factors to take in, for example, the raw material, market accessibility, energy availability, and lastly, the labor supply. Lastly, selection with its factor need to be taken seriously. It is important for the production of maleic anhydride. So, thank you.
So that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.